I would like to tell some in my opinion, important ideas or information about the importance of the Visagrat Fund, and after that, experience of Hungary with the CEFTA and the European single market, and some ideas as recommendation, for example. Hungary considers the Visagrat Fund an important instrument for concerted assistance to initiatives and individuals within the Visagrat partners and beyond, its extent reaching into countries in the Western Balkans as well as in the Eastern Partnership area. Visagrat Fund annually allocated millions of euros to hundreds of Visagrat cooperation projects and mobility programs across Central and Eastern Europe. Until now, the overall approved funding amounts to almost 116 million euros. The benefits for Visagrat and non-Visagrat recipients are extended through distributed fund come into the form of grants for projects and mobility assistance. In pursuit of the sustained foreign policy aim of Hungary to advise the prospects of EU integration of Western Balkan states, the V4 is conceived by Hungary as another practical and applicable instrument in support of region. Through grants means Visagrat plus grants, mobility programs, or assistance to the Western Balkans Fund, the V4 aspired to contribute to the transformation process in the region through providing means and ways for sharing experience of regional cooperation. The V4 and the Western Balkans Fund developed cooperation and signed memorandum of understanding in order to extend technical assistance to the Western Balkans Fund. The International Visagrat Fund supports projects for strengthening civil society organizations and activities in the Western Balkans region. Some words about experience of Hungary with the CEFTA and the European single market. Hungary accepted and shared the underlying motivation for the establishment of the CEFTA as limited regional economic integration intended to realize the intra-regional trade and economic potential among the participants. The EU, therefore, encouraged and supported the idea and the practice of trade liberalization in the region simultaneously with the post-communist economic transformation into market economies before any concrete move towards the pursuit of EU membership. Importantly, CEFTA respected an early and relatively modest stage of economic integration since it did not aim to create or lead to the formation of a regional customs union or common market. The scope of CEFTA was limited to trade in goods as it did not extend to the liberalization of trade in services, so it was not excluded to treaty provisions. In pursuit of its driving objective, the liberalization of intra-regional trade was envisaged through the gradual and complete removal of tariffs and non-tariff barriers by the end of a transition period ending on the 1st of January 2001. For Hungary, as for all other CEFTA signatures, the ultimate declared destination of economic integration, adaptation and transformation was envisaged the form of EU membership as early as possible. On balance, it could be observed that all CEFTA countries increased their inter-regional trade with their partners. It is important to note that the CEFTA framework provided significant incentive for multinational companies in their decision on investment in the Visagrat countries and other participants. Later, in particular when it involved the establishment of large production facilities capable of supplying the entire region. Although useful and meaningful instrument for its own regional purpose, CEFTA provide apparently incompatibility with EU membership. Upon their accession to the EU on 1st of May 2004, the members of Visagrat groups, together with Slovenia, renounced their participation in the CEFTA framework. Naturally, Bulgaria, Romania, Croatia did the same later when they acceded to the EU. The European single market created a unified trading territory that functions without the border regulation and tariffs which typically apply to trade between countries. The single market allows the unrestricted movement of goods and services as well as capital and people through the territory. Hungary has benefits from the European single market. First of them, general advantages. Stimulus the GDP growth, more jobs, growing internal market and domestic demand, access to 500 million customers. The second was macroeconomic impacts, growing inflow of FDI, more mobile workforces, regional hub and gateway, access to East Europe and the Balkans, stronger competition and drive for innovation, easier access to financial institutions and funds with the enlarged European Union. And the third was benefits for companies, increased access to EU funds and support for SME, transparency of taxation and business accounting rules, simplified administrative procedure when trading with other EU member states, single standard certification process for the entire region. As a recommendation. First, regional economic integration among Western Balkan 6 countries could have a number of benefits effects because it could simulate growth, competition, FDI, and longer-term development, thereby increasing their competitiveness and accelerating convergence with more developed countries. The second, infrastructure development is one of the key issues in the Western Balkan 6 countries. The third, V4 can provide the knowledge related to the EU integration and economic cooperation of the Western Balkan 6 countries with the V4 small and medium-sized enterprises. And the last, the V4 and Western Balkan 6 should incorporate green transition and digitalization into the process of rebuilding their economies, which is another potential field for the cooperation. These were my ideas connected to this question. Thank you so much for the attention.